All right, we're going to do a race example. And pretty much if you get any kind of constructed response question, using race will help you get the right answer because it makes you go into more detail. And that usually means that teachers can understand that you know something, so find something in that, and that gets you points. Right? So the first letter in race is R, and that stands for restating the question. It is not just copy and pasting. There shouldn't be a question mark. That's just laziness. Okay? So if this was your question, how did the end of the Ice Age, those glaciers and icebergs melting, impact Native Americans? First thing you're going to do is restate that question individually. So you're going to need a sheet of lined paper. All right, so you have your lined paper. Make sure you put your name at the top, and you are going to restate the question. So I will put the question back up in case you need it. If you need a piece of lined paper, there are some in the tan basket on the student shelf. So here's the question. All right, go ahead and pause that. Individually, you're going to write your own question, so you shouldn't be looking at your partner's paper yet. You're going to do that individually. When you're done, replay the video. All right, now that you're done, you're going to share what you wrote with your face partner. Both of you share, take your turn. And then, if you need to make changes to yours, go ahead. If you don't, you can move on. All right, our next letter is the A in race, and that's the answer to the question. Pretty much, that's usually used as stating the main idea. So, if the question is like, who was the first person to arrive in America or discover America, and the passage is mostly about the land bridge, you're pretty much stating that main idea. Every reading or question is different, but usually it'll be that main idea. Okay, so we have our restated question. Now we need to add our answer. So I have the end of the Ice Age impacted Native Americans by, that's my restated question, and then now I'm going to answer it. And so I'm going to, in that reading that you did yesterday, I'm going to find where in there that answer is put. Okay? All right, so you're going to do that individually. When you're done with that, replay the video. All right, now once you're done individually writing, you're going to share with your shoulder partner, or your face partner, sorry, and make any changes if you need to. All right, replay once you're done. All right, next part is citing. Citing evidence you did yesterday, and I know that one of these related to it. Front page. You already have the citation for it if that fits your answer. So go ahead and do that. So we have my restated, the end of the Ice Age impacted Native Americans by, and now my answer, being blocked from traveling by land. They had to wait or travel by boat. That's kind of a summary or a main idea of the reading I did. Just make sure when you're citing evidence, you are proving that answer. So that answer is just like the assertion column that I had for you, and you had to find a citation for that. That's exactly the same thing. Just instead of being given the claim or the argument, you have to make it yourself when you answer the question. All right, so go ahead and pick a quote that you like. It can be the one you did yesterday, or you can find your own. And you are going to add that in there. Make sure you use your stems that is on that poster or page 16 in your notebook. All right, so you're going to do that individually. When you're done with that, share with your partner. Make any changes. I want to show you what I wrote because there's a few tips and kind of tricks you can learn once you get citing evidence down. All right, so I put the text says, so that's my poster. I found that from the poster. Then I use a quotation mark because it's a quote. 2 massive ice sheets. Notice I didn't have to start from the beginning of the sentence. And then I didn't write every single thing between the words ice sheets and blocked. So I put 3 dots, it's called an ellipses. That means you took something out. And then I wrote blocked entry to North America because I didn't need the extra stuff. Then I keep going. The hunter-gatherers waited out the Ice Age. And then I moved down to my paragraph, so it's not right next to each other. So I did ellipses. Groups must have ferried themselves in boats at least part of the way. So I made sure that I found proof for every single thing that I put in my answer. If there's something in your answer that you didn't cite, you need to go back and do it. All right. Our final one is E, and that is explain. Pretty much you're saying, how does your quote support your answer? You pretty much need to spell it out for me. Like, I can't assume you know. So it would be like saying peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You have to assume that I do not know that a peanut butter and jelly sandwich has peanut butter and jelly on it just by the name. You would literally have to say, in order to correctly cite it or explain it, would be a PB&J is called a PB&J because, that keyword because is necessary for any explaining. It contains peanut butter and jelly. Like, you could cite a recipe that says add peanut butter, add jelly, put the bread together, and then your explain would have to be, it is called PB&J because. It's almost like you have to act like they're dumb. Okay, so spell it out really basic. Do that yourself, and then you'll share with your shoulder partner again. All right, I'll kind of share with you mine. So I put, ice sheet is another term for glacier. I'm spelling it out. The ice prevented people from walking because they didn't have the technology to break it. Again, spelling it out. When ice started melting, the ocean level increased. Spelling it out. That might make sense, but I can't infer that you know that. This made boats possible, i.e. I'm spelling out that boats are on water. All right? Now that you have done your sample, cut this out so that it'll fit in your notebook. You can also fold it in half like hamburger style and tape it in that way too. Then, on page 45 in your notebook, you are going to answer this question by yourself using that same article, and it is, how does the idea of human-environment interaction relate to the land bridge? So you're going to find examples of human-environment interaction in that reading, because that will be your citation for your race. Right? When you are done with that, these are the things that you need to do.